Hey everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I am going to be making a video on an operating system that I am pretty intrigued by. So, as we know, Windows 7 support has been done for about 2 years. It's almost coming up on 2.5 years actually, it has been a while. The OS is kind of dead, can't really do anything on it. I mean, I'm saying that from a gaming perspective. NVIDIA drivers are out of date. There's not really any, if no, modern hardware that even supports Windows 7. Now, people will go out of their way to run Windows 7. Like, I've seen some people go as far as making modded drivers for NVIDIA cards, which is basically open source drivers. Yeah, I mean, this OS is still pretty buggy. It's in beta. But, like, people will be making open source drivers. Basically, people are taking advantage of the Lopus attack from about 2 months ago, which leaked some of NVIDIA's source code. And people are basically, I don't know the exact word, but they're taking the bare source code that they got, and they're reverse engineering it to make open source drivers for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Which, that would be amazing to have NVIDIA drivers on those platforms. I just don't see that happening. So this has nothing to relate with the video. I thought I just might go over that. But that just goes to show the extent people will do to use older operating systems. So when it comes to using newer versions of Windows, there are some things you can do to make them look like Windows 7. So if we try this, this OS is still very buggy. It's in beta mode. This could also be my virtual machine. It has a lot of issues in virtual machine. When you install this on bare bones hardware, it is definitely a way better experience. But for the time being, virtual machines are just not that good. Like virtual machines. So I don't want you guys to get any false impressions. This OS is pretty stable for a beta build on bare bone hardware, but it is very buggy in a virtual machine. That might have something to do with the encoding. Not too sure, because Windows blinds just does not work that well in virtual machines from my experience. So it could be that or the encoding, but this OS is way better than what it's appearing right now on the virtual machine. I would like you guys to try installing this on bare hardware. So basically, this operating system is called Windows Chameleon, as we can see right here. Jesus Christ, this shit is buggy as fuck. So this OS is called Windows Chameleon. It is made by Oliver Tech Corner. So this operating system is pretty intriguing. So before you jump to any conclusions, this OS is not a custom version of Windows. Basically, what they're doing over there at Oliver's Tech Corner is they're taking software that you would use to make Windows 10 look like 7, and they're pre-installing it into an ISO to have it look like Windows 7 out. Oh my fucking god, this is making me cringe. But yeah, it could just be the fact this is in beta, or I'm just gonna take the fact that Windows Blinds is complete dog shit. But I personally do not like Windows Blinds, but it gets the job done on newer builds. So basically, if we head on into File Explorer, geez, you can't even do that. Like, I'm gonna try to unload the Windows Blind themes real quick. I know it takes away a lot from the OS, but yeah, as you can see right there, it is Arrow. So yeah, I'm sorry, but look. So the OS seems to be working pretty stable right now. So I would like to go and share with that Windows Blinds does not work well on virtual machines whatsoever. It is very buggy on VM. But as we can see, it looks pretty good. So they're using old new Explorer to get the Windows 7 look. And I'm pretty sure they're using a program called Windows 7 Icons. They could have used Customizer God to make these. There's a lot of ways you can go about replacing the default icons, but it could have been Customizer God or the Windows 7 pack that a lot of people will opt for. So if we head on into Chameleon files, we can see that basically how you would do this into an ISO is, if we head to WinVer real quick and check the version of Windows this is running Windows 10 21H2 LTSE. So basically LTSE 2022. So the way they're doing this is they're getting a bare bone LTSE ISO, and they're using a program called NT Lite. I'm not that good on modifying ISOs, but I'm like 99% sure it is NT Lite. Basically from there you can modify the ISO to make it look a certain way out of the box. So for example, if you use NT Light to modify your Windows ISO, you can debloat it, add custom themes, and you can just do a lot with it. If you want any further reference, I have a video on an operating system called RevOS and Windows 10 Ghost Vector. Those operating systems both go the same ways when it comes to making them. They grab a bare bones. No, they don't grab. They grab a regular Windows ISO and they'll do things like debloat it and add their own themes, add their own like Microsoft Store. They'll basically do a lot of stuff. So if we take a look on the software that's being used, we can see that a Windows 10 to 7 pack is being used with Old New Explorer. I already knew that one. If we head on the Start menu, we can tell that OpenShell is being used for the Start menu and Start Orb. So if we count on into the settings for OpenShell, it is already configured. These are the best settings you can use for OpenShell. These are the best settings that I would recommend for OpenShell, and they seem to nail this pretty hard on OpenShell. This probably took hours, like not hours, but it probably took a lot of research and a lot of testing to make OpenShell look good. So I really want to show you guys Windows blinds with this, but Windows blinds just does not seem to run well on VMware for some reason. And so probably now this is just one thing I feel that's sloppy. I mean, you can at least crack Windows blinds. I mean, come on. So we're gonna try to enable the Better Arrow theme real quick. So this will not work on web browsers like Chrome, Firefox, stuff like that, because the CSS is just not compatible with it. So will it work now? Of course it won't, because Windows blinds is a piece of shit and does not like working on virtual machines. So I'm just gonna leave. Okay. What the fuck? Bro, Windows blinds. Okay, this is why I don't like Windows blinds. This is why, like, I like modifying older builds of Windows 10, but Windows blinds just does not work well on virtual machines. I cannot stress this enough. It does not perform like this on bare bones hardware. Only on virtual machines, because if we unload Windows blinds, this operating system runs smoother. But yeah, you can get a head view from that right there. I'm pretty sure you could see that. This has pretty good functioning Arrow Glass transparency. So let me try enabling another theme real quick. That might get the job done, but I honestly doubt it. Windows blinds is not meant for virtual machines. Okay, so this isn't the theme that comes pre-installed. The theme that comes pre-installed is Better Arrow 7. So maybe this will work. It does not. Go fuck yourself, Windows blinds, you suck. Yeah, so we're just going to unload Windows blinds. I really want to show you guys the arrow effects of this, but it seems like I can't because Windows blinds is a piece of shit. So another program they are using is 7 Plus Taskbar Tweaker. So this is a pretty good piece of software for making your Windows 10 taskbar look like 7. Like, for example, it can make the taskbar icons large like they were in Windows 7. And it can also change a lot of the variations of the taskbar. But there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this piece of software. I would recommend it if you want bigger icons in general. So if we browse through our local C drive, we can also see some other programs being used is Classic Sticky Notes, Classic Task Manager. We also have modified Windows apps, which I'm assuming is I don't know what could be in the modified Windows apps. I guess we'll find out. So with they're using OpenShell. Let's see what they're also using WinArrow Tweaker, which is a pretty good piece of software. Windows Defender, can't go wrong with that if you're cheap. So yeah, Windows Defender is configured properly. Program files x86. Yep, I was right. It's the Windows 7 icon pack by 2013 Windows 8.1. So this is how they made the Windows 7 icons, and they also used Old New Explorer to make the File Explorer look like Windows 7. So this is just overall, in my opinion, a very good project, because this could be good for someone trying to mimic the feel of Windows 7, and it is very hard to make Windows look this good. Now, what are some recommendations I can recommend for the creators? Is one, I would recommend to make a build based on 1809, because there's this piece of software out there called Arrow 8.1. So if you add on to Arrow 8.1, it's Arrow Glass. So let me show you guys. It is Aero Glass for Windows 10 version 1703 through 1909. So this piece of software gives you functioning Aero Glass without the inconvenience of Windows blinds, and it's free too. But the most annoying thing is you will have a watermark in the bottom, but you can easily crack it. So one thing I would recommend is making a build of 1809 LTSC would probably be a good idea because you won't have to go through the hassle of Windows blinds. And I could definitely see the usage of Start is Back++ being used instead of OpenShell. Because from my experiences in some case, if you try to use Windows blinds and Start is Back, my experience has been overall better with the two combinations instead of OpenShell and Windows blinds. So out of the box, this OS comes pretty good. It looks exactly like 7. I really wish I could show you guys the Aero theme, but it's either a encoding issue or Windows blinds is a piece of shit. I'm opting for the second one. So yeah, I'm also have guest edition results. So yeah, this OS definitely has a lot of potential. It's not 100% just yet. There's definitely a lot of things that can be done. So, for example, is the context menu is definitely still with the Windows 10 look. It is possible to get a Windows 7 context menu. Now, I'm pretty sure this might just be because I don't have Windows blinds enabled. So I'll try doing that real quick. So we'll do a full comparison real quick. Let's enable the theme. So how does the context menu look now? So the context menu is still, oh my god, why is Windows Blind so shitty on virtual machines? So the context menu could definitely be improved. So thing with the context menu is it looks Windows 10-ish. I know that can be tweaked to look like the Windows 7 context menu. And another thing is with the installer, I don't know if it's possible, but if you could make the installer the Windows 7 installer, I'm pretty sure that might be possible. It is definitely possible to modify the installer and the EULA. It's definitely possible, but it might be very hard to do that. But there's definitely a lot of work that can be done with this project, and I really am excited to see what this becomes in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next.